What is up, Crusaders of Crypt Nation? It is your boys, Bryce.
And this is Pizza Mind.
And we are here today on July 30th, 2019 for episode 7 of Today in Crypto. And we got some big news. We've got Ethereum's 4th birthday. We've got Tether launching on the Liquid network.
Mm-hmm.
We've got blockchain.com has a new exchange called The Pit, which we're going to dive into.
The Philippines have their very first stablecoin via Union Bank.
And then another Senate hearing for yield cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology.
Let's jump into it.
Let's jump in. So Ethereum's 4th birthday.
Yes, that's right. Ethereum launched 4 years ago today. Its white paper came out in 2013, and it took Vitalik Buterin and team 2 whole years to make the first version of Ethereum that we all know and love today. So something worth keeping in mind that it took all those geniuses 2 whole years to get just to their first version, and now
ETH 2.0 is coming out.
Yeah, and now 4 years later, we're just ahead of 2.0. So it takes a long time to get anything cool done.
More or less. That's a great takeaway. Is that if it takes a long time to get anything cool done.
Yeah.
But Ethereum 2.0 is going to be very interesting. So it's dubbed Serenity. They are reducing the block reward from 3 Ethereum to 2 Ethereum, so it'll reduce the inflation rate. They have proof of stake now, or preparing for proof of stake, which will be very cool. And they're going to have faster transaction times with Casper protocol, with sharding.
Yeah.
So sharding is basically parallel processing of the blockchain instead of a linear processing. So it's like hyper-threading.
Yeah. So just how your computer's CPU went from only having 1 core to now 4, and then 8, and then 16. That's what's happening to blockchain transactions on Ethereum.
Should be very, very cool. So everything's going to stay in consensus, and the transactions will still be ordered, but they'll be processed at the same time. So that'll be very cool. In other news, we have Tether launching on the Liquid network, and the Liquid network is designed by the folks out of Blockstream, who everybody in Bitcoin is very indebted to.
Mm-hmm.
What Liquid network kind of enables is new assets to be issued on top of the Bitcoin blockchain, similar to how the Omni layer protocol did it. But this has, instant settlement. It has confidential transactions, has multi-sig security. Basically, what it's going to be able to do is allow exchange to exchange have instant settlements of LBTC, and LBTC is liquid BTC is what they're calling it, and now liquid Tether. So instant settlement now between exchanges with Tether, so you'll be able to close all those arbitrage opportunities instantly.
Yeah, so that's tremendous. And what this L means, it's basically a representation of a Bitcoin, or in this case a Tether, and is backed 1-to-1. So then when you finally are done with your trading, then you can settle out the actual physical asset.
Yep, it should be very cool. So Tether is also on Tron and Ethereum, and now Liquid. And this is very, very bullish for all the traders who are now going to be able to get Tether from any Liquid connected exchange, just like that.
Speaking of which, the Pit.
The Pit's going to be big. The Pit is blockchain.com's new exchange, architected by the chief architect of the New York Stock Exchange.
Yes.
So that'll be big.
So
what's cool about it?
They have over 26 trading pairs to start. It's actually open 24/7, 365. Euro and USD deposits and withdrawals are coming right after it. So they're really targeting a more institutional and professional grade platform with the same kind of exclusivity as Coinbase.
It definitely sounds like they're trying to take Coinbase's lunch. They have Euro and USD on-ramp and off-ramp, connects to your bank account. But the other thing that's really cool is it connects to your blockchain.com wallet, which is non-custodial. So you own your own private keys, and you can transfer in and out. So what else is going on?
I'm leaving Coinbase. That's what's news.
Today in crypto, Pizza Mind leaves Coinbase.
No, for real. The Philippines, which is a region that is not too sure how it feels about crypto yet, one of their biggest banks, Union Bank, has decided to issue its own stablecoin, which is backed by the Philippine peso. So that is a huge step forward for that nation. They have a lot of remittance clogs because they have over 10 million Filipinos living abroad that are trying to send money back home and don't really have a good way to do that. So now the newly minted PHX token is available to anyone with a Union Bank account.
Not to be confused with the
Red Pulse Phoenix.
Thank you. Not to be confused.
That's right.
Lastly, we have the Senate hearings. The continued saga is getting drawn out here as the regulators of the Senate National Banking Committee try and figure out what the hell to do with crypto. They had Jeremy Allaire, the CEO of Circle, who recently is moving his operations offshore to Bermuda. And basically they asked him, like, hey, why are you doing this? And he's like, look, you guys as in U.S. regulators, don't have a framework for digital assets, because digital assets are encompassing, commodities, investment contracts, and currencies, whereas the current regulatory framework delineates all three of them as separate. And he goes, no, they're all a little trifecta of three.
Yeah, so he's basically saying they're trying to put a round peg in a square hole, and because of that, like, there's no one here in the U.S. that is confident in innovating or moving forward or working together. They're all afraid they're going to get fined or thrown in jail or having their company shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's much easier just to move offshore, where you also get a ton of tax savings as well. So there's all kinds of countries that are stepping up to say, yeah, if you run a crypto company, please come here. We'll give you no taxes for X amount of years and no problems, and government support all the way up to the president. Meanwhile, we can't even do anything even in our own Senate.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And Senator Crapo of Idaho, he basically started off the hearing saying, like, hey, we want innovation to be fostered here in America, because we know that if we don't move quick and if we don't move now, that we're going to lose ground to China, basically, which is a true statement. So that's kind of the general sentiment from the senators, is like, hey, we don't want to be left in the dust, but we also don't want this to get out of hand, like all the deregulation of the banking in 2002, right, when they deregulated the $600 trillion derivatives market, and that it almost caused the end of the world. So they're trying to say, well, how do we balance this? How do we have a balanced approach where we could classify these things as some new asset class that's not just a security, it's not just a commodity, it's not just a currency, it's elements of all three, right? So yeah, we'll kind of see how it all shakes out, but this isn't the end of all this talk in DC. It's really just the beginning.
Yeah, but at least they're starting to ask the right questions.
That they are. Well, that kind of does it for us.
Yeah, that's Today in Crypto. We'll see you tomorrow.